Hello students, in the previous class we have discussed the first associated gland, that is the salivary gland. Today we will discuss our second associated gland, that is your gastric gland. Okay. First point, the mucous membrane lining of the stomach is being well developed, bearing numerous folds having around 35 million numbers of gastric gland which secrete gastric juice. First point, mucous membrane lining of stomach is highly developed, bearing numerous folds which have around 35 millions gastric glands, okay, which secretes gastric juices. Okay, so the first point, the gastric gland, the mucous membrane, obviously we know the stomach internal lining is the mucous membrane lining which is well developed, bearing numerous folds having around 35 millions number of the gastric gland, okay, which secretes the gastric juice, okay, which secretes the gastric juice which eventually helps in the process of digestion. Achha. Next point, gastric gland. Gastric gland is divided into three types, okay. First one is your cardiac gland, second one is your pyloric gland, third one is your fundic gland. Second point, gastric gland is divided into three types, okay. First one is your cardiac gland, second one is your pyloric gland, third one is your fundic gland, okay. The gastric gland which secretes gastric juices is divided into three types of glands. First one is your cardiac gland, second one is your pyloric gland, third one is your fundic gland, and the fundic gland is your little bit longer, okay. Means longer in means it also divided further into three types of cells, okay. So now we'll discuss each one by one, the cardiac gland, pyloric gland and the fundic gland. Please note down, okay. As you can easily remember, do something remind by hearing these terms, cardiac gland, then the pyloric gland, then the fundic gland? Yes, you are right. The cardiac gland, fundic gland and the pyloric gland, all are somehow you can remember, it matches with the portions of the stomach. Stomach has four parts, the cardiac part, the fundus part, the body part and the pyloric part. Yes, it is related to that. First we will discuss cardiac part, okay. Sorry, cardiac gland. The gland which is present or which is situated near the cardiac part of the stomach is known as the cardiac gland, and it secretes mucus and pepsinogen and some amount of or little amount of HCl. First point, the gland which is situated near the cardiac part. Okay, the gland which is situated near the cardiac part, of the stomach is called cardiac gland. Okay, second point, what does it secretes? It secretes mucus and pepsinogen and HCl in traces. It secretes mucus and pepsinogen and HCl mean hydrochloric acid in traces. Traces means small amount, very small amount. Okay, next is your pyloric part. As it is, the pyloric gland, sorry, I am writing part repeated time, pyloric gland. The gland which is situated near the pyloric part of the stomach is called the pyloric gland, and it secretes the mucus as well as gastrin and small amount of pepsinogen and HCl. First point, the gland which is situated near the pyloric part of the stomach is called as pyloric gland. Okay, next point, it's about the secretion of the pyloric gland. The pyloric gland secretes mucus as well as gastrin and also some amount of pepsinogen and hydrochloric acid. We can write here, it secretes mucus as well as gastrin and pepsinogen as well as gastrin, pepsinogen and HCl in traces. Okay, means it secretes mucus as well as gastrin, but it secretes also pepsinogen and HCl in traces, means in small amount. Okay, so these are the two types of gastric gland. One is your cardiac gland, other one is your pyloric gland. Means if the gland is situated near the cardiac part of the stomach, then the gland is known as cardiac gland, and it is secreted and it secretes mucus and pepsinogen and small amount of or HCl in traces. Whereas the second one, that is your pyloric gland, it is situated, the gland which is situated near the pyloric part of the stomach, then it is called the pyloric gland, and it secretes mucus as well as gastrin and pepsinogen and HCl in traces. Okay, mucus as well as gastrin and pepsinogen and HCl in traces. Okay, so the third type of gland is your cardiac gland and pyloric gland, and the third type of gland is your fundic gland. Okay, please note down the points. Third type of gland is your fundic gland. Third one is your fundic gland, which is little bit longer. Longer means it is further divided into three types. That is why I have said that it is longer. Third one is your pyloric fundic gland. Fundic gland. Obviously, the gland which is situated near the fundic part of the stomach is known as your fundic gland, and it secretes, first of all, the gland which is situated near the fundic part of the stomach is known as your fundic gland. It is further divided into three types of cells: peptic cell, oxyntic cell, and the goblet cell. So the first point, the gland which is situated near the fundic part of the stomach is called the fundic gland. Okay, it is divided into three types of cells: the peptic cell, oxyntic cell, and the goblet cell. Second point, it is divided into three types of cells. First one is your peptic cells. Second one is your oxyntic cell. Third one is your goblet cells. Okay, so the fundic gland, as I said earlier, the fundic gland means the gland which is situated near the fundic part. So first part, we'll discuss the peptic cells. The peptic cells generally secretes the proenzymes such as prorenin and the pepsinogen and small amount of gastric amylase and lipase. It secretes proenzymes such as pepsinogen and prorenin and small amount of gastric amylase and lipase in traces, means small amount. Second one is your oxyntic cell. Oxyntic cell secretes hydrochloric acid and the Castell's intrinsic factor. It secretes HCl or the hydrochloric acid and Castell's intrinsic factor, which helps in absorption of the vitamin B, This is the function of the Castell's intrinsic factor, okay, not the HCl. So the second point is your oxyntic cell. It secretes HCl and Castell's intrinsic factor. Kestrel's intrinsic factor means it is a secretion secreted by the oxyntic cell. And what is its importance? It helps in the absorption of the vitamin B. And for what the vitamin B is required? For maintenance of our good health. Okay. Next the cell is your goblet cell. It helps in the secretion of the mucus, or we can say simply it secretes mucus. Okay. So the last point of in summarize point, that the secretion of all these cells means the first one the cardiac, second we discussed the pyloric, third we are discussing the fundic gland. So all these secretion of all these cells get together to form the gastric juice. Means the secretion of all these cells forms together the gastric juice. Okay. So far we have discussed the how many number of gastric glands are present. So then the types of the gastric gland, there are of three types. One is the cardiac gland, second one is the pyloric gland, third one is your fundic gland. Cardiac gland is so called because the gland situated near the cardiac part of the stomach, and also it secretes mucus and pepsinogen and HCl in some small amount or traces. Second, the pyloric gland is situated near the pyloric part of the stomach, and it secretes mucus as well as gastrin, and also small amount of or traces the pepsinogen and HCl. Whereas the third part, that is the fundic gland, means the gland which is situated near the fundic part of the stomach. Okay, and the fundic gland is further divided into three types of cell: peptic cell, oxyntic cell, and the goblet cell. Peptic cell secretes the various proenzymes, means the inactive form of enzyme. Okay, the inactive form of enzyme is called the proenzymes. First of all, the inactive forms are converted into active form, then it is acted upon. So the inactive form is being secreted by the peptic cell, which are the proenzymes such as the pepsinogen and the prorenin, and various gastric amylase and lipase in traces, means small amount. Whereas the oxyntic cell secretes hydrochloric acid and Kestrel's intrinsic factor. HCl means hydrochloric acid, Kestrel's intrinsic factor means it is a secretion which is secreted by the oxyntic cell, which helps in absorption of the vitamin B, which is required for the well-being or the healthy position of a human being. Third one is your goblet cell. It generally secretes mucus. Okay, and the secretion of all these cells cumulatively get together to form the gastric juice. Okay, now we'll discuss. Okay, please note down all the points. Okay, now we'll discuss the composition of the gastric juice. Now we'll discuss some more points of the gastric juice. First point, the pH of the gastric juice is highly acidic with the pH ranging from 0.5 to 1.9. Gastric juice is highly acidic in nature, whereas the pH ranging from pH ranges from 0.5 to 1.9. Okay. Second point, what is the daily secretion of the gastric juice? We can say in two ways. 500 ml per meal, or we can say 2 to 3 liter of secretion of the gastric juice per day. So we can say the daily secretion of the gastric juice is about 2 to 3 liters. Okay. Next point. What are the enzymes present in it? Basically 4 types of enzymes are present: renin, pepsin, then the gastric lipase and the intrinsic factor. Gastric juice contains enzymes such as renin, okay, renin, pepsin, gastric lipase and the intrinsic factor. Okay. Next point. Renin and pepsin are now the active form. You might have been reminding that I have said the prorenin and the pepsinogen, okay, which is secreted by the peptic cell. But those proenzymes are now converted already into the activated form, which are the renin and the pepsin. Means the prorenin, from the prorenin it is the active forms come out, the renin or the prorenin is converted into renin and the pepsinogen is converted into pepsin. Means the inactive forms of enzymes are converted into the active forms of enzymes. Next point. What are the basic constituents of the gastric juice? It consists of 99.45% of water. So we can say water content is around 99.45%. Okay. Rest, the solid content or the solid constituents is around 0.55%, which includes 0.15% inorganic salts such as potassium chloride, sodium chloride, etc., and 0.40% the organic constituents. Okay. So the main constituents of the gastric juice are: the water content is around 99.45%, okay, and the solid constituent is around 0.55%, where the 0.15% is your inorganic salt, whereas the KCl and the sodium chloride, and the 0.40% is your organic constituents. Okay. One point you can easily correct in this video, that I have written the spelling of the prorenin, I have written by mistakenly single N. Please correct that the secretion of the peptic cell, it secretes, I have written it secretes the proenzymes called prorenin and pepsinogen. Just correct one thing, the prorenin I have written I have written single N, please write it double N. Okay, please correct it. Once more time I am saying that the peptic cell secretes the proenzymes such as pepsinogen and prorenin. In the prorenin I might have written single N. You please correct it, P-R-O-R-E-N-N-I-N. I might have written P-R-O-R-E-N-I-N. Please correct. Corrected? Okay. From that prorenin we will find the renin. Okay. Please correct that one. It is very important. Okay. Next point. Now we'll come to the function of the hydrochloric acid. What I have done to correct, what I have told to correct, please correct that portion. Okay. Prorenin, I have written might be PRORENIN. Please correct it into PRORENNIN, means the secretion of the peptic cell. Okay. Now come to the function of the hydrochloric acid. Last point, last portion, the function of HCl, or we can say the hydrochloric acid. First point, it kills the bacteria. It kills the bacteria that comes along with the food. Means while taking food, if there is a sort of some kind of bacteria which is harmful for us, the hydrochloric acid can kill that bacteria so that we can prevent from any disease. Okay, the first point, it kills the bacteria that comes with the food. It kills bacteria which comes along with the food. Okay. Next point, it stops the action of the ptyalin or salivary amylase. As I have said earlier, ptyalin or the salivary amylase is enzyme or the organic constituents that is present in the saliva, and it acts only in the pH ranging of 6.7. What is the range of the hydrochloric acid? 0.5 to 1.9, means highly acidic. So in that place, in the hydrochloric acid, it inactivates or it inactivate the action of the ptyalin. Okay, it inactivate the action of ptyalin due to the surrounding is your highly, because due to highly acidic area. Which one? Your acidic or the hydrochloric acid. As the hydrochloric acid is your highly acidic in nature, and the ptyalin only acts in the pH ranging from 6.7. So we can say it inactivate the action of the ptyalin or the salivary amylase. Third point, as I have said now, to correct the portion, the spelling of the prorenin, which I have written might be RENIN. Please correct it into the, you should have corrected it into the RENNIN. So what I have said, the proenzymes means the inactive form of the enzymes. It should be converted into active form of the enzymes, means prorenin, it should be converted into renin, and the pepsinogen is converted into pepsin. Achha. So who convert the inactive form of enzyme into active form of enzyme? Then the answer is your HCl. Hydrochloric acid or the HCl converts the inactivate form of enzyme or the proenzymes to activated form of enzymes, such as the pepsinogen into pepsin and prorenin into renin. HCl converts the inactive pepsinogen into pepsin and inactive prorenin. While writing the secretion of the peptic cell, I might have written single N. You please correct it by writing double N. I am saying repeatedly. Inactive prorenin into active renin. Okay. Next point, last point, it stops the contraction of the stomach, means it prevents from various stomach cramps. It stops the contraction of stomach. Okay, so these are your 4 important functions of the hydrochloric acid or HCl. First one, it kills the bacteria which might come along with the food, which is maybe harmful for our body. So it kills that bacteria so that we can prevent it from the disease caused by the bacteria. It inactivates the action of the ptyalin. Okay, it inactivates the action of the ptyalin, or we can say it stops the action, or we can simply say it stops the action of the ptyalin. You can simply say it stops the action of the ptyalin, as the HCl is highly acidic in nature. Third point, HCl converts the inactive proenzyme such as pepsinogen and prorenin into active form such as pepsin and renin. HCl converts the inactivate pepsinogen into pepsin and inactive prorenin into active renin. Okay. Fourth point, it stops the contraction of the stomach, or we can usually say it stops the action of the various cramps of the stomach. So these were our important functions of the HCl. In this class we have clearly discussed the gastric gland, where is gastric gland present, how many numbers of gastric gland is present, how many types of gastric glands are there, 3 types, and further the fundic part is also divided into 3 types of cell, peptic, oxyntic and the goblet. Further we have discussed the composition of gastric juice, and now we have discussed the function of the hydrochloric acid. So that's all for today. I will send the material of the gastric gland. You should write all the notes of the gastric gland and please send it to me to my WhatsApp personally. So that's all for today. In the next class we will discuss another associated gland, that is your liver. Thank you.